The control grid, the cashless society tracking, tracing, Patriot Act compliance control grid. All over the world, they've signed treaties, they've integrated the systems from Costa Rica to the United States, Canada, Australia, England, Europe. They have face scanning cameras. They have cameras that pick up your unique facial heat recognition. They have blimps and aircraft and helicopters doing the same thing. I first learned about this about 12 years ago, that Indiana and Texas had done federal test grants to have squad cars and highway cameras reading all license plates. And then the last 8-9 years, they had articles about every car that comes into San Francisco, or every car that comes into Chicago, or every car that comes into this Florida town has its plate run, which is guilty until proven innocent, which is a dragnet, which is what criminal states would use to abuse the population. Imagine what Stalin or Hitler would have done with that. States always abuse that, and the Pentagon developed it. And they're using it in Iraq, and MIT brags about it. And every time I talk about this, it's now widespread. They're now announcing it to the slaves. They track everybody with their cell phone real time. NSA's listening to everything all the time. All emails are being read by AI computers, keywords. I mean, this is all admitted. The microphones built in on your cameras have NSA listening 24/7. It's totally criminal, totally illegitimate. They take your blood at birth for 36 years, put it in the eugenics DNA database. I told you that 12 years ago, had state reps on about it, congressmen on, never was in the news, now declassified, now public. I mean, again, thousands of things happening. So they're putting the grid in right now, a grid that blows away 1984, and then they'll bring in the physical oppression on top of that, which they're now heating up. I see articles every day where the cops run up and tackle some innocent guy and kill him or put him in a coma or, stomp somebody or shoot him in the back, and the police chief comes out and says, we did a good job. Our officers felt threatened. They're setting this precedent, though those cops will be torn limb from limb by the system as well. And so will their children. They'll be there at their child's bedside as they die of cancer, not knowing they were hit with a soft kill weapon. But that's what you want. It's what you demand. It's what you get. We all get it. We're under an evil system. If you don't have the courage to admit it, it'll only get worse. So I thought I'd play part of this BBC News piece to analyze the way they spin it. Oh, look, it stops a stolen car. That's how they're now announcing in here. Oh, these cameras, it stops a stolen car. They've had this for over a decade nationwide. Now they're announcing it. Now the squad cars are getting it. Austin already has it. They don't tell most of the officers at some of the cars. Houston has it. Dallas has it. And again, total control, but they can also frame you with it, just like they can with your blood they got at birth, or with your digital photo, or your thumbprints, and they've been caught doing it. So let's go ahead and roll this for people. This is from England.
They watch and log. This is CCTV that knows what it's looking for.
Yankee Romeo.
10 million registration plates are scanned every day, and if anything is not right, from no tax to a stolen vehicle, the system shouts.
Confirmed stolen vehicle.
Come on. 905 St. Peter Street.
These officers have just heard a stolen car is coming their way.
Well, that way.
And this vehicle's been tracked through ANPR, yeah?
Yeah, it's been picked up by the fixed systems. Out the vehicle! You're nicked, you're in custody, all right? We believe the vehicle's stolen.
All right, then.
The car had been stolen, but these two men rented it without knowing.
Yeah, right.
It was ANPR that spotted the crime.
We've seen an increase of some 40% of arrests since we've had this technology. I'm very confident that we are using it properly and responsibly, and that innocent people have nothing to fear from the way we use it.
Some would disagree. John and Linda Catt found themselves on the wrong side of ANPR. Sussex Police put them on the database because they attended these anti-war demonstrations. The system's meant for criminals, but they haven't been convicted of anything.
I was threatened under the Terrorist Act. You had to answer every question they put to me, and if there's any of those questions that I refused to answer, they will arrest me. Well, I thought to myself, what sort of world are we living in?
Sussex Police wouldn't comment on their case, but some say secrecy is a problem.
Known character, Richard Bilton, BBC TV.
Every single registration plate the system sees is logged and stored, not just criminals. Every journey you've made on a main road is held for 2 years. The Information Commissioner, whose job is to protect our data, says no one is regulating the police on ANPR.
There's very little monitoring. I mean, my office has very limited powers. We have very limited resources. We're not actively monitoring that area. You're right to ask the question.
Nobody's checking that data?
No one's checking at the moment.
So who is watching over this new system? I asked the Home Secretary.
It's regulated in terms of the law. It's regulated by the Information Commissioner.
He doesn't think it is. He doesn't think it's regulated by anybody other than the police.
Well, and it's something that we will look
that's
at
enough
further
of it.
legislation about.
You can see the rest at Infowars.com. That's the same Home Secretary Jackie Smith following EU law that banned Michael Savage from entering England. And they arrest you now in England if you criticize open borders. Robin Page, BBC presenter, was arrested for literally criticizing open... Well, not even that. He said the word homosexual, and they said that's an illegal word now, even though it's just a scientific name. Because whatever people are offended by is now illegal. So if I said I'm, oxygen. Oh, I'm offended by the word oxygen. It's scientific. I'm arresting you. This is how all of this happens. Now... Ladies and gentlemen, I told you the White House Chief of Staff wrote in a book and gave speeches saying they're going to put everybody on the no-fly list, 1,100,000 and growing, by 30,000 names a month, on a no-gun buy list and then SWAT team you to get your guns. This is on record. Now they've introduced 3 bills to do it, and they're blasting through, racing through Congress. Just give you a bill number since you may not believe that. Like I actually printed it off. I can't keep track of all these. Here it is. No Fly, No Buy Act. H.R. 2401. Go read it for yourself. Then they have the No Bullying Act. H.R. 1966. I actually printed it off. You can go read it. It says, if anyone says you hurt their feelings, you're charged federally with a felony, multiple years in prison, $500,000 fines. H.R. 1966. Here's another one. FBI and states vastly expand DNA databases. New York Times, 18 times the regular level. Anyone stopped under federal money with local police will have their DNA taken. Already happening in Europe. See, total control. And the police departments have been caught everywhere framing people because the criminal class in Russia, in communist China, in Nazi Germany, and in every other nation in history, and now here, takes over the police, and then it's all over. Hell on earth ensues. The good cops are kicked out, and that's now happening right now. Hell is about to be released, okay? Just get ready. A lot of you are out there smiling, giggling. Just get ready. You're going to get hit, and you're going to get hit hard. You wanted to be a slave, you're getting front row seats. Oh, by the way, instead of... this is how my brain works. When I see an article about license plate readers, then I think about the face scanners that have gone in everywhere and how they're tracking and tracing you. And how that ties into how if you're not a good globalist and haven't paid your taxes, and they're now announcing this here in Texas, they say, oh, we've got bills in the state legislature, last time I checked it's about to pass, where the minute your insurance is up, the face scanning and license plate scanning cameras will flag police to pull you over. And you're like, oh, great, that'll arrest illegal aliens. No, they're going to be selectively released. Just like under the Homeland Security laws and under stipulations in the stimulus package, they get jobs and money without IDs, but citizens get felonies if you don't. See, we're the idiots. We're the slaves. We're known as the cowards that'll take anything in America. The illegal aliens, the globalists want them here. They're exempt from everything. Just a fact. I've had Austin cops admit, oh, yeah, we don't arrest illegals for drunk driving, no ID, anything, but we do citizens. But the point is, I dug up this article, special license plates shield officials from traffic tickets, Orange County Register. In California, over 1 million government bureaucrats now can speed run lights. The scanners can't read their plates. Ah, this goes two ways, doesn't it?